start to believe. Listen to your heart, tell me that you understand, 'cause you are the one for me. If you just believe, 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 Listen to your heart, 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 heart. Listen to your heart, 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 heart. Listen to your heart, tell me who you wanna be. We can always start to believe. Listen to your heart, tell me that you understand, 'cause you are the one for me. You just believe, you just believe, you just believe, you just believe. Listen to your heart, 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 tell me who you wanna be. We can always start to believe. Listen to your heart, tell me that you understand, 'cause you are the one for me. If you just believe, 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 believe. Listen to your heart, 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 heart. Listen to your heart, 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 heart.
Listen to your heart. Tell me who you wanna be. Yes, people, welcome back to another stream. Hope you're all doing very well. It's been a quiet week, a quiet morning for me personally. Hope you're all doing very well. We were planning on doing a build up to Wolves today, but stuff has happened. Stuff has happened. Things are happening regarding our 115 charges, the Premier League, people getting letters from Manchester City, cease and desists. The whole lot, excuse me, the whole lot is happening right now. Make sure you've hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed if you're new. Get your thoughts in the chat. Get your super chats in. Get your membership channels, channel memberships, whatever it's called. Get involved, people. Hit the like button. Big up MJG, Daniel Thompson, Puneet, Evan, Harry Briggsy, Reju. Big up everybody joining us right now. Make sure you've hit that big thumbs up button. Now, as I've always said, people, this is not a topic that I particularly like. It's not a topic that I particularly enjoy. And I said that I would not be talking about it much unless there was stuff worth talking about. I said I'm not going to come on here week in, week out, day in, day out, and start feeding you guys rubbish and feeding you guys just things that I make up here and there just to make content, because I'm not a believer in that. But some people are believers in that. And thankfully, we don't have any in the Man City space. They seem to reside in fan bases of other clubs. Now, people are starting to get hot on their feet, or getting cold feet, I should say, regarding their content and 115 and what actions could be taken against them for making comments and statements over the last year since this news broke. I think we all kind of know who I'm talking about. I think we know the kind of people I'm talking about. We've got some reactions. We've got some quotes and comments from people that would suggest that there has been action taken against them. Now, I want to preface absolutely everything we say here on this stream the exact same way LB did an hour ago. Allegedly, yeah. Everything here is alleged. So don't come sending me cease and desists. Don't come sending me letters saying I've accused anybody of this, that, and the other. It's all alleged from my part. I think you know where I'm going with this, people. I think you know where I'm going with this. So make sure you've all hit the like button, get your thoughts in, and let's get into it. So let's start with a bit of a timeline. Joe, I don't know, are you familiar with Galassi, the Manchester City board member?
Absolutely not. The name is new to me.
Well, apparently there's a member on our board called something Galassi. Forgive me for forgetting his first name. Galassi, anyway, is a member of our board. He kind of broke the silence last week somewhat regarding our charges and the feeling from within the club around the charges. He was asked how he feels about it, and he says, "I think you can tell by my body language, I'm super confident." That's the quote. I'm super confident. Now, would a Manchester City board member say, "I'm super confident," if he had a feeling it was all going to come crashing down? I don't think so.
I mean, it's just the same sort of stuff that we've been hearing all along, isn't it? That our board and our higher ups are so confident that we have. I mean, again, going back on the timeline, irrefutable evidence. That was the word they used when the charges first came out. They've always been so confident that they're innocent and nothing is going to happen. Irrefutable evidence.
It's a funny one. But listen, even though we said we have irrefutable evidence just over a year ago now, or about 14, 15 months ago now, the world's media and the world's biggest content creators decided this was a fantastic bandwagon to hop on the back of. This was a fantastic excuse to use as to why our clubs that aren't Manchester City, why have we failed? Why have we failed? Why are we so rubbish? Why can we get nothing nothing right at academy level? Why can we get nothing right at boardroom level? And why can't we be like Manchester City? Well, they've been charged. So let's use that. Let's use that. They've been charged. They're really good and they've been charged. So they must be guilty. Now, how can we monetize this? We can make constant 115 content. Now, look, people don't generally care if it's people like me and you, Joe. You know what I mean? Small platforms and so on and so forth. If it's the YouTuber with 10, 20, 30, 40K subscribers, it's not really going to impact anybody too much. But when you're talking about people with large platforms, you know, big dog journalists, big dog YouTube channels, biggest in the scene, they are going to get repercussions for their actions. And if City are innocent, plenty of what these people have been saying will come back to bite them in the arse. Now, allegedly, once again, people, Manchester City have been firing out cease and desist letters to those who they believe have been making such comments. I retweeted. Where is it gone? Told me. Yeah, here we go. Right. Let's break this down. People. Keep hitting the like button, people, man. Keep hitting the like button. I'm gonna get this up on screen. So Tommy, our good friend Tommy, big up Tommy, says City have sent out a number of legal warning letters to demand they cease and desist or action will now be taken. The club are doing this from a position of strength and knowledge. I like that. So who have they sent cease and desist letters to? Who have Manchester City been contacting over the last week regarding their statements, quotes, and comments on our case, which they know nothing about, like nothing about? Who could possibly have got these letters? Our good friend Marcus Goldbridge, Brent deceased and desist, Brent de Cesar, Brent deceased and desist. That is apparently, allegedly, who has received a letter, amongst others, from Manchester City. Allegedly, by the way, people, do not send for your boy Hugh. Goldbridge went on his own podcast with one of his other puppets and started talking about the charges. He seems to have taken a step back regarding his comments on the charges and said, I don't want to talk about 115 anymore. Why the switch up, Mark? Why the switch up? You were loving talking about 115. You were really, really enjoying the number 115. I was starting to think you had a fetish for the number 115 and Man City in crisis. So why all of a sudden have you stopped? And then, in the same podcast, he does also use the quote, not because they have threatened legal action. Not because they have threatened legal action. That's not why I don't want to talk about 115. So he's the one who brought up the legal action. So I put two and two together, and I assumed because Tolmie said City had been sending out cease and desist letters, and Goldbridge goes on to say, you know, not because they've threatened legal action. I'm assuming he's had legal action threatened. I did tweet. I did tweet, people. You know me. I keep it 100. I keep it 100 around here. I like to tweet. What did Hugh say? What did Hugh say? What did that dickhead from Dublin say? Here we go. I have it up here, people. Share screen. Now, Goldbridge sent a cease and desist letter from Manchester City, and I couldn't find it any sweeter. The guy has spouted nothing but hate-filled rubbish and hollow accusations relentlessly towards City for over a year. Karma. How are you feeling about this so far, Joe? How are you feeling about this so far? Are you with me?
Oh, I'm with you. I understand. I remember, I think it was before, not the last stream, maybe the stream before. You know, closest to the time of the original Told Me tweet. And I think you asked me before we went live, because I brought it up. Do you reckon Matt Goldbridge has had or Brent has had a cease and desist? And I think I remember saying either I don't know or I don't think so, because I just didn't think that his name would be on the list. I didn't think that out of all people, he would be getting an email from our football club, because even though he has a pretty sizable platform, like, he doesn't, like, it's just people, it's just United fans, essentially, most of it. So, I mean, I didn't think so, but, I mean, allegedly, I mean, why would he bring it up? You said the point there, why would he bring up legal action? Nobody'd even thought that there'd been any sort of legal action happening. Why would he bring it up just out of nothing?
Why would you bring it up? If there's been no legal action taken against you, Mark Goldbridge, why would you bring it up? So I did tweet that, and then I got a response.
Which is fucking crazy. It's crazy.
Big Marcus Goldbridge tweeting or quote tweeting me. I think I'm in his head, you know, because he's still tweeting about it. So Mike Keegan, actually, no, I won't go on to that bit just yet. So I did tweet that, and then I got this in response. Here we go. Share screen.
He said the number. He said the number.
He said the number. He said the number. Now, look, for the Manchester United fans and the people who really hate Manchester City and want us to go down, who are believing that, oh, he couldn't have been sent a cease and desist. He couldn't have had legal action threatened against him because, look, he quote tweeted that dickhead from Dublin saying 115. There's nothing stopping Goldbridge typing the letters 115. The issue is not Goldbridge saying 115. He can quote tweet me all day and all night saying 115, and nobody can really threaten him or bring any action towards him. The bigger picture is the content that Goldbridge has made, the content that Goldbridge and many, many, many other high platform owning people have been making over the course of the last 12 months. That's where the issue arises. Because I'm sorry, in this world, you cannot say things to a large platform which could persuade people to think of a certain way and have no repercussions. You must have evidence. There must be concrete evidence to back what you're saying. You cannot come on to your show in front of millions of people and say City are guilty, City are guilty. We know they're guilty. They're ruining the league. They're cheats, they're cheats, they're cheats. They're going to get what's coming to them and expect absolutely nothing if City are scot-free. So what happens if City becomes scot-free or found not guilty? And you're all free to, if you're not City fans, to think whatever way you want. City have paid them off, City brown bags, whatever. The bottom line is, if City are found not guilty, what happens to all those people who have been spouting nonsense, saying we're guilty for so long? What happens to all those people? They must be held accountable. They must be held accountable. So what happens if any case takes place around the world that has not come to a conclusion, and I sit here on a channel with 5 million subscribers, imagine that, us having 5 million subscribers, and I start saying, I know the outcome. I know the outcome. I don't need to wait for a verdict. I know the outcome. And I'm wrong. What if I'm wrong? Can I just sit back and go, well, that's that? No. You are making defamatory, slanderous comments towards a potentially innocent party in this situation. They must be held accountable. Now, why I believe I am in his head. I believe I am in Mark Goldbridge's head right now because he's still banging on about this. So once again, Mike Keegan came out with the post. I'll get the post up here. Mike Keegan says, There's a rumor flying around that Manchester City's charges have been dropped, told it's not true. Does this come as a surprise to anybody that Mike Keegan, who is obviously directly, he's one of the voices for the club, is saying that the charges have been dropped or not dropped? Does this come as a surprise? No, because Mike Keegan will not be the one to break the news. Mike Keegan will not be first to know that the charges have been dropped if and when it does happen. It will come from the Premier League first, and then City will make a statement, and then the journalists will go crazy. The whole world will go crazy. The Premier League will be the very, very first to drop this news. Whether innocent or guilty, the Premier League will be first to drop this news. This is a watertight operation. This is not like, will Haaland sign for Manchester City? Is Mbappe going to go to Real Madrid? And journalists get leaks and agents say things here and there and presidents say things here and there. No, this is a watertight operation that nothing is getting leaked. Nothing is getting leaked. All we do is we hear and we talk. That's it. We hear and we talk and we make our own judgments. But I like to believe, and I think I'm right in saying, the majority, if not all, Manchester City content creators like ourselves have been very impartial and said, look, we're not making any final conclusion. We're not saying we're guilty, but we're also not saying we're innocent. We're not saying we're innocent. We're not saying we're guilty. But not everybody was up for that. Not everybody was up for that. So why, if nothing's being leaked, why do people know that we're guilty? So Goldbridge quote tweets this, and he says, interesting. So obviously it's in his head, Joe. It's in his head. I think he's on his arse here. I think he's very worried. I think Goldbridge, I'm not just him, I think many others are very fucking nervous that if City get off this case lighter than expected or nothing at all, a lot of people are fucked. A lot of people are fucked, and I refuse to allow them to not be held accountable. I refuse to sit here, watch my club hopefully become innocent, and all the people who dragged us through the mud have absolutely nothing to say for it or no repercussions. That is wrong. That is wrong in any setting. Innocent till proven guilty. Joe.
Yeah, innocent until proven guilty, unless you are Manchester City Football Club, and then it is guilty if even innocent. We went through all this with Cass. We're still guilty. We paid off UEFA to get back in the Champions League. We're still guilty of that. They've just all moved on to this one because it's fresh news, and as soon as this case disappears, regardless of outcome, we're dirty cheats, and if we come away with an innocent verdict, we paid them off brown paper bags, brown envelopes, this sort of shit. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't bother. I hate talking about charges so much because what is Mark Goldbridge doing? Quote tweeting saying interesting. What's interesting?
Because he's got
himself
in so deep, Joe. This fucker has got himself in so unbelievably deep. He has made so many outlandish comments, defamatory statements, unfair comments against a party not found guilty. So if he knows that this is now at the tipping point. We are approaching D-Day, people. I believe we are going to get a conclusion to this situation sooner rather than later. The case may have already happened. As Mike Keegan says, the charges have not been dropped. Mike Keegan won't know. With all due respect to Mike Keegan, he will not know until said exit plan, as we have in the title, has been made. Because you bet your bottom dollar, people, when this news breaks, if this news breaks, I should say, that City are found innocent, hopefully, the world is going to melt. Yeah, the place is going to descend into chaos. You're going to have legal actions going left, legal actions going right. You're going to have people retracting statements, people trying to cover up what they said. City can absolutely ruin a lot of people if this goes their way. So as I say, Goldbridge knows this is now a tipping point. And if this goes the wrong way for Goldbridge, he will have a serious case coming his way. A serious case. Once again, allegedly. Everything is allegedly. What I'm telling you, people, it's not gospel, but you know what I mean? I'm trying to help you make up your own minds here. You know what I mean? You make up your own minds. But this is what I'm saying, Joe. When D-Day arrives, people like Goldbridge will be first on the hit list. So they're having their cards marked right now. Why would City send out cease and desist letters this week? And then Goldbridge talks about it. And why would last week Galassi say he's super confident? Something has happened. I believe something has happened. Something has happened to either suggest something, either we are found innocent and the Premier League have not found an exit strategy yet, they're working on that, or else they know the inevitable is coming, that City are found innocent.
When you say found innocent, I mean, well, yes, that is, of course, what we want. But technically, is it not the other way around? Because they're accusing us of something, don't they have to find us guilty? 'Cause again, innocent until proven guilty.
Sorry, yeah,
so
I mean, not guilty, you know what I'm saying?
found innocent, you know, they're accusing us of something. They have to find that evidence. Have they found it? That's what I mean. Like, clearly, if something has happened, have they not found evidence? Have they not found, or have, you know, City come in with their irrefutable evidence going, we haven't done this, these are not, you know, rule breaches? So it's a very interesting time, and I just want it to be over, personally. Not because I'm scared of the outcome, or I don't know what's going to happen, but I just want it to be over for the sake of, it's boring. Like, it's getting boring. It's now getting to the stage of where we have this fucking idiot from Nottingham who's a Manchester United fan waffling and now talking about legal action through... Nobody's provoked him to talk about legal action. So from the outside looking in, it looks like something has happened. Something is progressing. You had... What's his name? Is it Richard Masters, the guy who runs the Premier League, chief executive or whatever? He came out and said, you know, it's going to end soon. You know, it's, you know, coming towards an end. The case is moving. So something has happened. There's been something that has happened because there's multiple people speaking and there's multiple people changing their tone. But again, like you said, nobody knows. Have the charges been dropped? No, but nobody's going to know that until it actually happens, because this is probably one of the most complicated, like, legal situations Premier League wise ever. Like, this has never happened before.
This is one of, when this drops, it'll be one of the biggest pieces of news in sporting history, and it will change the landscape of the Premier League forever. If City come out of this squeaky clean, having beaten the Premier League, it will change the landscape of the Premier League and the monopoly held on the Premier League forever. Absolutely forever. This is D-Day, as I say. This is where City can clear their name. This is where City, I believe, will clear their name, and no one can do anything after that. All you can do after that is say, well, brown envelopes, brown envelopes, brown envelopes. Nothing standing or you know, concrete there. I'm going to do some of these super chats, guys. Over 160 people in the building. Hit the thumbs up button. Try to get us to over 100 likes as soon as possible, and subscribe if you're new around here. Big up Professional Unai Emery with a 10 gifted memberships, guys. Professional Unai Emery is a very special man around here. He's royalty on this channel. He always has been. So make sure you thank Professional Unai Emery if you get one of his memberships, and we thank you, Professional Unai Emery. Absolute legend, prestigious man. He's just invited 10 of you to join the prestigious members club we have here on HMTV. Big up. And he comes in with a super chat as well, saying Bark Goldfish should learn to shut up sometimes. Bro's gone completely off the rails. We should say 115 after every sentence to annoy rivals. He has gone off the rails, and too many people have taken it for granted that the trial was taking a long time. Because while the trial was taking a long time, it bought people like Goldbridge a lot of time to make as much content as they wanted about City and about charges and about regulations, about legalities. And I'm sorry, Goldbridge, you haven't a fucking clue about. You haven't a fucking clue what's going on. You're just hoping. You're just hoping. And you took the lazy route and the easy route of making non-stop content negatively towards Manchester City, because that was the popular thing to do. That was the easy and money-making thing to do, because you know that your audience would massively enjoy and massively appreciate you sitting there banging your table going, they're guilty, they're cheats, this isn't fair. How can we compete with Manchester City when they're cheats? It was easy money for you. It was easy views for you. And now you're being bitten in the arse. Now you're being bitten in the arse, and you're shitting yourself because you went on that podcast with one of your puppets and said, I don't want to talk about 115 anymore. No. Too late for you to change your tune. You need to double down. You've been on this long enough. You've been waffling long enough. Double down. If you really know and you really believe what you're saying, double the fuck down. Tell us. Tell us we're guilty again. And go fight City. If City take legal action against you, go and fight City. And see how that goes for you. Because Cass failed, and it looks like to me the Premier League is going to fail too. So I don't think Mark Goldbridge is going to get any joy. Dickhead. Blue tone. Big up my guy Blue Tone, man. Great to speak to you earlier on. It's his day off today, so watching live. Appreciate that, Blue Tone, my guy. Big up Jill. Jill, absolute legend over on the Big Six Discord. Says, what happens if they right, though? All love. Well, this is just it. What happens if we're right? What happens if they're right? What happens? We're going to talk about it. And big up Zeph says Goldberg's entire strategy is to prove Man City guilty in court of public opinion to stain City's achievements. It is an extreme form of copium. That is exactly what it is, Zeph. That's exactly what it is. And we've been knowing this. We've been knowing this, and we've been saying this. Manchester City is your biggest excuse for failure. Us being as fantastic as we are, and the infrastructure we've built that has allowed us to sustain success for the period that we have, is your excuse, your number one excuse for failure. That's it. Manchester City didn't make the Glazers buy Manchester United. Manchester City didn't make the Glazers and all these people spend Manchester United's money abysmally. Manchester City didn't do any of this to anyone. Manchester City did their own thing, built a ship that you couldn't stop, and you don't like that the power has changed, the flip has changed. And now it's, well, you don't really believe they could make more money than United and Liverpool, do you? You're damn fucking right I do. You're damn fucking right I believe we can make more money than United and Liverpool. Absolutely. What world are you living in if you think you're so superior that nobody can catch you? Mate, we've dominated England for 10 years. United, your parent club, Goldbridge, haven't finished above us in 11, 12 years. We've won trophy after trophy after trophy. What do the big companies... If you're a big company owner, Joe, yeah? Imagine that, Joe. You're a big company owner. I believe you can do it someday, my brother. You own a multi-million-pound company, multi-billion-pound company, and you say to your right-hand man, I want to invest in a football team in England, yeah? I want to invest in a football team in England because I want the eyes of the world on my brand. My brand is Joe's Condoms, yeah? I have Joe's Condoms, and we want the eyes of the world to know about these, yeah? Because that's the kind of business that you would like to be in. And your right-hand man says, right, who are we going to get? Manchester United. They're a big club, aren't they? They're a big club. Let's go and put Joe's Condoms all over Manchester United. It'll probably suit them. But you kind of go, well, there's another team in Manchester who are a lot better, have a better manager, a better infrastructure, a better stadium, win more trophies, better players, better trajectory. I think we should go there, you know. Maybe bring our sponsorship money over there. You know, they've got Haaland, they have Pep, they've won 5 out of the last 6 Premier Leagues, whatever it is, European champions, first club ever to win 5 trophies in a year. Let's bring our money over there. That's what happens. That's the business world. Just because you're big Manchester United or big Liverpool does not mean you are the shiniest toy on the shelf, the shiniest product to be sponsored. I hate to break it to you. That's not how it works. Now, just for context, people, Joe does not have a company called Joe's Condoms. It was totally fabricated.
Why did your mind go there, of all places? Why?
Call Rubber Joe. He's got your back.
Wait, why did your mind instantly go there? I don't understand the insides of people's minds. But no, taking that out of the equation, the context is right. There are, you know, when you look at the revenues, us having the highest revenues, people going, oh, how can they do that? They don't have any fans. They don't sell shirts. We've been through this before, I think. Kit sponsorships, deals with Nike, Adidas, they aren't actually like the kit sales. Clubs don't earn much from kit sales. They usually get that money for the kits up front when they're made. Am I right in saying that? So the amount of kits you sell doesn't actually cover, but it basically covers fuck all of your revenue selling kits. Because again, you get that money front up. So when you see people, I never see City shirts, and you got Garnacho saying, I go around Manchester, I don't see any blue shirts. Mate, but it does fuck off the revenue. Like, it doesn't matter how many shirts you see. It doesn't matter. It's stuff like TV deals. We get loads of money from the Champions League because we've gone so far in the competition pretty much every year for the last, 5-6 years, getting quarterfinal, semi-final, final, winning the competition. You know, that's a lot of money. Broadcast revenue in the Premier League, always finishing in the top 4. You know, winning loads of Premier Leagues, domestic cups as well, winning some of those. Like, our broadcast revenue is through the roof. And then you look at our sponsorships as well. People would rather, or companies would rather, you know, sponsor our club because we're successful. We're on the biggest stage constantly winning trophies. Why would you not want your brand name all over that? Like, there are companies that are, you know, would probably like to be a sponsor for us rather than Man United, because with Man United, they're an absolute mess.
Exactly. That's literally it. These companies don't care which club has the longest history, or you know, United had the Busby Babes and this kind of thing, and you know, the Alex Ferguson era. They don't really care. They want their logo on the best. Do you know what I'm saying? They want their logo that they're paying big dollars for to be on the best. And United aren't the best. Liverpool are not the best. None of these clubs are the best right now. So of course Manchester City, and especially, look, I ain't no economic expert, but with inflation of the world's economy in general over the last decade, the sponsorship revenue is rising anyway. So look, that's where I stand with revenue earning. Manchester City absolutely can earn more than Manchester United, and absolutely can earn more than Liverpool, and so on and so forth. And if you believe otherwise, it's naivety, it's arrogance, and it's lazy. It's lazy to not consider all the factors that are brought into revenue. And you're telling me that the club who wins the treble in their 3rd year in a row of winning the Premier League isn't earning a shitload of money off sponsorships. Like a shitload of money off sponsorships. Football is the most lucrative sport in the world. The Premier League is the most lucrative league in the world, and we are top of that. For years, we are earning ridiculous cash. And then there's all the stuff that we do with, you know, CFA or CFG and selling academy players for fantastic prices that we paid nothing for. All of this comes into our overall revenue, making us a financial powerhouse. We don't even need Sheikh Mansour's money at the minute. We don't need Sheikh Mansour to bankroll us, write us any checks for players. The club is financially self-sustaining at a ridiculously high level. Accept it. Big up King Cladsy King as well. The super chat says, just looked over your Twitter, Hugh. Wow, just wow. Which part did you look at? I assume it was the one that has, how many impressions is that thing on right now? Yeah, it's on 1.3 million impressions, which is it's crazy. It's crazy. But I stand by what I said, and I'm gonna continue to call people out. People, like, if you're new to this channel, hit the like button, subscribe around here. If you're new, become a channel member. Big up to Professor Unai Emery for gifting. But what you'll get from me is exactly what I think. I'll say what I think. I'm open and honest. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. If I think people are talking rubbish on my club, I'm going to say I think they're talking rubbish on my club. And I think that guy that I called out last night and he responded this morning has been talking nothing but rubbish on my club for the best part of a year. Probably longer. But since these charges broke, it was like, boom, there's the bait. This was his opportunity to strike gold and really put the blame on someone else. So you should be spending more time talking about the failures and poor running of your own club than being worried about my club.
Oh, but it's not poor running. It's not poor running. The reason why they almost lost to Coventry in the FA Cup semi-final is because of 1-1-5. Nothing to do with the way Man United are run. It's because we're cheats. We're cheats, so they almost threw away a 3-0 lead to Coventry. We're cheats, so Liverpool are struggling to win a game at the moment and have fallen out of a title race. Do you see that Arsenal fan as well, by the way?
Call him out, man. Name drop him.
That I can't remember his name. He's the one who sits there and talks dead slow with a microphone. He said the other day the Premier League's boring, the Premier League's unfair, the Premier League needs to change. Something along those lines, because I don't know, we're going to win it. And we do. I mean, I hate to break it to you, but 1, Arsenal are top, and 2, it's far from over. Like, I don't know how. Again, this is the thing. It's gone from a few weeks ago, this was the most exciting title race yet. 3 teams all within a point, 2 points of each other. A few weeks later, just because it's in City's hand, the league's over. It's so boring. It's so predictable. You can predict who's going to win it. You can predict who's going to go down. It's boring. It's not the best league in the world. All because it's fallen into our hands. Like, that's the change. I mean, we're to blame for teams falling apart. We're cheats. Liverpool drop points. We're cheats. It's unfair. How can we compete?
Let me show you something else, people. Present. I'm doing a lot of presenting to the class today, am I? If you're enjoying today's lecture, people, make sure you've hit the like button. Where has it gone? Right. Here's the Premier League table. Can we see that loud and clear? Yeah. This is the Premier League table right now. This is what we're looking at. So Arsenal first, City second, Liverpool third, Aston Villa fourth, Tottenham fifth. Now, where's Manchester United? I have to click see more. Okay. So they're sixth.
Oh, there they are.
There they are. So Manchester United, to find Manchester United, you have to click see more. Okay, so there's see more FC. That's Man City's fault. That's Man City's fault that United are in sixth. That's Man City's fault that their last 5 games were a loss, 2 draws, a win, and a loss. That's Man City's fault because Man City are cheaters. That's City's fault. It's City's fault Liverpool are on 75. It's City's fault that that Villa are on 67. It's City's fault that Liverpool didn't win the league. It's City's fault. It's City's fault. It's City's fault. See more FC.
Charges 115. Our grass was too long. That's why Liverpool lost at home to Crystal Palace.
Exactly. Liverpool lost to Atalanta in the Europa League because of City. Liverpool lost to United in the FA Cup because of City. And Liverpool lost to Crystal Palace and drew at West Ham because of City. This is where we're at now, people. This is where we're at. This is where we're at. I'd love to find that TikTok short or YouTube short, Joe, and play it here. Do you know what I'm on about? Craig Anfield agenda. Do you remember
it? I've seen so many things that guy has said. Which one is it?
It's where I've seen the emails.
Yes. Yes. The all reliable Craig Bald from Dublin. Seen the emails.
Talk to the chat there for a second. I'm going to see can I find it because this is what we need. We need this. I need this.
Yes, because Craig Bald, I don't even know how fucking old, from Dublin, Liverpool fan, has seen Manchester City's emails because he has inside information. He has a source. And he's seen the emails. What was it he said? There was another, I don't know if it was a short, but he said something along the lines of, he'll never respect us because we're cheats. We don't want your respect, mate. We don't care for your respect.
I know where it could be.
Think you can find it?
It'll be on my Twitter.
But I've seen the emails. Mark Goldbridge with his Man City in crisis. Man City to be relegated and cease and desist. Talk about legal action. We've arrived.
I have it.
Play it.
Right, chat. Get ready for this one. Hit that like button, man. Tell me if you can hear this, Joe, first.
Ask you.
Yes, I can.
You can hear that? Right, chat. Ready for this one.
Ask you. If you are indeed a football fan, how can you stomach that? I get it. Liverpool lost. You find it funny. But push that aside and ask yourself, is that right? Is that fair? Is that just? The answer is unequivocally no, it is not. Journalists need to do their damn job now and speak up and call out this corruption for what it is. Because it's my club this week and it hurts. It'll be your club next week and it will hurt you.
Or maybe not. Maybe not. That's the wrong one.
Retreat.
Here we go. Atta boy.
Everything Pep has done with Man City quite easily because they're cheating scumbags. What? How could you undermine everything Pep has done with Man City quite easily because they're cheating scumbags? What Manchester City have done, in my opinion, is disgusting. I've seen the emails. I've got enough information to hand. I don't respect them one bit. I have no respect for them. Zero, none. I hope they get found guilty of every one of the charges. I hope they get screwed to the wall. I hope they get made an example of. And it's not saltiness. I respect good teams. I will respect Arsenal if they win the league this year, but I will not buy the nonsense that's coming out of Abu Dhabi FC. Everyone fucking knows it. That's how I can undermine what Pep Guardiola's achieved, because he's part of the problem. How could you undermine everything Pep has done with Man City? Quite easily.
Wait,
because they're cheating scumbags.
Scumbags. Okay, cheating scumbags. There you go. Cheating scumbags. Where's the next one?
The emails. No, you haven't, mate.
Manchester City have done, in my opinion, is disgusting. I've seen the emails.
Right. Show us the emails then. You big prick. Show us the emails. See, this is what I'm talking about, people. This is exactly you think I just sit here and Goldbridge is the only one that I think is a knobhead who has spouted rubbish. This guy's up there too. This guy's up there too. I've seen the emails. Well, why haven't I seen the emails? Why hasn't Joe seen the emails? Why hasn't any people in the chat seen the emails? Why hasn't the world seen the emails? But Craig from fucking Anfield Agenda has seen emails. And why are they fucking emails? Do you know what I mean? Why are they emails? Why is that the form of communication used to talk about one of the biggest legal cases in sporting history?
I've seen the emails. I will respect good teams, but I will not respect you because you're too good and you robbed me of my team's golden generation. What the fuck up, mate? You're just bitter. You say it's not saltiness. It is saltiness. It comes from a place of hatred. We ruined your club's golden period. We ruined that shit. You know what we done could have been you if we weren't around. But unfortunately, Pep Guardiola, Mr. Josep Guardiola, had a different vision. He wanted to do that and he ran it. And it's okay to be salty. And it's okay to be bitter. I would be as well. If I was in his position and I had a team that had picked me to the title by a point multiple times and stopped me from essentially domination, and they dominated instead, I'd be bitter. I'd be like, I want to do that. That's what I want. So it's okay, mate. It's okay, mate. We understand. You don't have to go around saying, I've seen emails and I don't respect you. We're not asking for your respect. I don't think anyone could care less if you respect us, but lay off the act. It's saltiness. It's bitterness. Everybody knows it as well. That's what he said at the end, wasn't it? Everybody knows it. Do they? Well, surely if everybody knows it, then we'd have already been found guilty and sent down to, I don't know, the Shadow Realm or something. So
the Gulag. Azkaban.
Yeah, gulagged.
Dr. Footy says, I've seen the emails and wallahi were cooked.
Share them, please. I need to see these magical emails that have been going about. Why? I'm on the mailing list. Why have I not got these emails?
Send me these emails, man. I want to see these emails. But let me just get, there's one word I want to get up here, just that he says. This guy's got a big platform, by the way.
I've got enough information to hand. I don't respect them one bit. I have no respect for them. Zero, none.
Actually, before I go on, that breaks my heart. That breaks my heart, people. Craig has no respect for us. Anyway,
We're not respected by a Liverpool fan.
Every one of the charges. I hope they get screwed to the wall. I hope they get made an example of. And it's not saltiness. I respect good teams. I will respect Arsenal if they win the league this year, but I will not buy the nonsense that's coming out of Abu Dhabi FC. Everyone fucking knows it. That's how I can undermine what Pep Guardiola's achieved, because he's part of the problem. How could you undermine everything?
He says corruption somewhere there anyway. I'm not watching it again.
Get rid of his face, man. I'm sick of looking at him.
You can't accuse us of corruption when we've not been found guilty and expect no repercussions. That's just where we're at. You can't allow these people with big platforms and big backings to just say whatever the fuck they want. And we sit here and go, well, why are you saying that? Back that up. You're saying you have emails. Show me the emails. Yeah? You love making content on 115. All these people love making content on 115. But none of them have anything to do with 115 that suggests they know what they're talking about. None of them have a fucking clue. So why do I have to sit here and just listen to that and go, oh, well, he has his opinion, so I should just listen to it? No, this is defamatory stuff. Corruption, you're calling us. Abu Dhabi FC. We're Manchester City Football Club. That's what we are.
I mean, yeah, it's defamatory. Why should we sit here and say that? And that is why Tolmy has come out and obviously said that, the club are potentially sending out these allegedly sending out these cease and desist letters and telling people, that if you carry on talking, it's a warning, basically. You carry on talking and running your mouth. We're not afraid to come after you next. After we're done with the Premier League, we're not afraid to come after you because this is harmful shit. You can't have, across all social media platforms, millions of followers and spout things like that. when you have no idea what's going on, no idea of exactly what we've been charged with, no idea of anything to do with the legal process, we'll come out and say, you've seen the emails, you know we're guilty, everybody knows we're guilty, we're corrupt, all of this, when it's simply not true. As it stands right now, corruption, all of these statements, not true. We've not been found guilty.
That's it, man. That's it. And I don't give any of these content creators much chance in a legal battle with Manchester City. Respectfully, I just I don't give them much chance. You know what I'm saying? When we got Lord Panic getting the same wages as Kevin De Bruyne, I don't think Mark Goldbridge can or anybody, these guys, if allegedly they go to a legal dispute with Manchester City, I don't give them much chance of being able to deal with it. Now, the final sort of thing, I'm sure plenty of you saw this on LB stream, but we're going to bring it up here, Joe. I don't know if you've seen this. It's a news drop from, apparently it came from the Blue Moon forum. I don't want to miscredit whoever made it or whoever posted it, but apparently it came from the Blue Moon forum or Facebook or one of the other. You guys will know what I'm talking about. Chat, for those of you who were over on LB stream earlier on. Have you seen this, Joe?
I have not seen the actual news drop, but I have heard, I saw people talking about something on the Blue Moon forum. I just didn't see it.
Right, so I'll read this and we can dissect it. Give me a second to read this, people. He says, I'll start by making it clear that the following post is not based on confirmed facts. However, the source from within the club, which this post is based on, has said things in the past that panned out exactly the way that they said it would, including managerial appointments, transfers, and the UEFA cast inclusion. So the person who made this post is saying that wherever they got, Blue City Brain, is that it, Briggsy? Whoever they're saying they got this information from is apparently quite a reliable source from within the club. So that's a good start. So City have successfully cleared their name before Murray, Rosen, KC, and his independent commission panel appointed by the Premier League. The charges have again failed to stand up to scrutiny. City are now working with the Premier League to decide and implement the best exit strategy for the shitstorm that will unfold once the announcement is made. This is what we need to talk about for a second. Exit strategy, because as I referred to earlier on, Joe, when this breaks, hopefully, if and when this breaks, I'll stay consistent. There will be a shitstorm of all shitstorms, like nothing you've ever seen before. This could surpass Super League levels of outrage. In fact, it probably will.
And I mean, again, it doesn't even matter which way it goes, which way the case goes. There will be a shitstorm regardless, because if we're guilty, everybody's going to come after us, and it's going to fall apart. But if we're not guilty, like this is saying, that we've cleared our name, then there'll be a few, wobbly bottom lips, the Premier League, people worrying, oh shit, what do we do? We've charged a very successful football club 115 times for breaking the rules, and it turns out that all of their success was legal and fair and within the rules. And there was a lot of pressure. All you have to do is go back a few months. There was, the top clubs, the clubs chasing, the title and top four, were pressuring the Premier League. They were putting pressure on the Premier League to resolve this case because they wanted to know the outcome. Basically, they wanted us gone because they wanted to, have an extra spot at the top of the table up for grabs. So there's a lot of explaining you need to do if we're innocent. There's a lot of, like you said, exit strategy. It's going to be a mess if we're innocent. Like this says, if we've cleared our name and are working on an exit strategy, you have to be an idiot to think that there's not going to be some serious backlash, some serious meltdowns going on. So they, of course, need to plan appropriately for how they're going to word it and how they're going to go about the future as well. Because it doesn't stop at the end of the case. Again, regardless of outcome, it doesn't stop there. Like, it is going to continue.
He goes on to say, with other clubs already punished and millions of football fans around the world wholeheartedly expecting the process to be a formality with a view to City facing the music, it's not going to go down well at all. That's what you're saying. Both Etihad stadium security and the security of the Premier League's head office in central London are being reviewed and bolstered in anticipation of the fallout. Are they suggesting there could be physical attacks on the Etihad and the Premier League's head office? I'm not too sure. That would be crazy. In addition to these ongoing plans, City have prepared multiple legal proceedings against various individuals and organizations, not limited to the UK. I wonder, does that include Ireland? Who have been deemed to assert City as guilty before due process has concluded. So that
Ireland is not part of the UK. For anyone who's maybe not clued up on geography, I am sure you are, of course. You live there. It's not part of the UK, so I mean, I can't. There's not many other names that jump out from abroad to me personally. Again, allegedly, but there's not many other names from, big channels that would actually, or big platforms, not even channels, just platforms that would be on City's radar. Again, like you said, if a channel had 10K, they wouldn't bother because it's not big. But when a channel has, 1 million, 2 million, bit different.
Definitely a bit different. It goes on to say the Premier League must now lie in the hole that it's dug for itself. They had the opportunity to stop what they were doing when UEFA failed at CAS. They didn't. They had the opportunity to stop when City refused offer to settlement. They didn't. Why they didn't is likely part of the bigger picture that involves other clubs within the Premier League and their overreach of power and influence over the years. I urge you now to buy a popcorn while it's still in stock, Blues. The scenes will be biblical. It's an interesting read.
It's what I said, wasn't it? After the first part of the paragraph, the whole pressure from other clubs. That's what this is. They wanted this case to be rushed and prioritized and put forward and ended because they want us gone. They want us out of the picture so they can, compete, and there's an next Champions League spot, and someone else is going to win the league. They all thought that, they're guilty, just send them down. This is kind of the problem, isn't it? Where you talk of exit strategy is the other 19 teams in the way. I mean, maybe not anymore. Maybe it's changed because look at United. They're trying to steal all our board members and former board members and staff. It was only a matter of weeks ago that we were saying that you can't do that. You can't do that. If we are found guilty, anybody who was within the organisation in the time frames that we were found guilty will also, by effect of association, be guilty. So, United was Omar Barada, was it? United. So he'll be guilty, and he won't be able to work for United because he was part of us.
What is he, the chief executive now?
Yeah, like he's like what number? I want to say number 2 at United. Like pretty much, apart from the owners, like he is like one of the guys. And if we're guilty, he's guilty as well because he worked for us and he was one of our higher up board members.
So why? Yeah, this is it. It won't just be content creators or media platforms that suffer off the back of this if it happens. Manchester United, real organizations out there will either lose people or have made a big mistake and didn't do their necessary due diligence. Surely, when Manchester United appointed Omar Barada as the chief executive of Manchester United Football Club, they dug into it and they said, "Listen, Mr. Barada, what's the lie of the land regarding these 115 charges? Because all you have to do is go and look at Omar Barada's LinkedIn. Everything says sponsorships. It's literally all about sponsorships. Basically all he did for us and the CFG was sponsorships. So if City are found guilty, Manchester United have a guilty chief executive. So what do you do? What do you do at that point? There's a lot of
haven't done their, like you said, they either haven't done their due diligence, which is Man United. It's every fucking chance they haven't, or they've flipped their stance and they've gone from they're guilty, punished them to, oh shit, they're probably not guilty. Let's just get on with our business.
Exactly. Let's just get on with our business. Basically, people, to summarize, I'm not saying City are innocent. I'm not or not guilty or guilty. I'm not saying either or. I've been consistent with this thing the whole goddamn time. Shout out anybody in the chat who's an OG here who's been watching me since these charges broke. You'll know for a fact I've always been super, super consistent. I've never claimed to be in the know. I've never claimed to know anything more than anybody else. I've never claimed that City are not guilty or guilty. I just tell you what I hear, and we have conversations about what we hear and what we read and what the rumors are. But there's a lot pointing in the direction that Manchester City will get off not guilty. There's a lot pointing in that direction. So sit tight. But what I will say to you people is, and this is just my feeling, I think we're nearing the end. I think we are nearing the end of this saga. I think we're coming to a close soon, Joe.
Yeah, thank God as well, because again, like I said, even when it comes to an end, you're not going to hear the end of it. It's not going to be, even if the verdict is innocent, and you just got to get on with your lives and get on with the football in front of you. It don't matter. Really doesn't matter. You will see this. It will not be the end. Just because the case is ended doesn't mean the whole fanfare and the talks and the conversations and the repercussions of this will be over. Like, people will still talk about it. People will still, essentially just slander our club and just still lay it with 115, even after the case. Like, it's going to happen. It's not going to be quiet, but who cares? Who cares? They can shout 115 all they want. It'll be what it'll be. You're still muted.
Sorry, I had to cough. Didn't want to cough in the mic. It will be what it will be. It will be what it will be. We will be there, people. We will be there. Listen, we've been streaming now for about an hour. Time flies when you're having fun, man. Time flies when you're having fun. I enjoyed that. Like I said, people, don't expect non-stop 115 content here. It's not what we do. It's not what we do. We will talk when the talking needs to be talked. But you know what I mean? Today I felt like a conversation was definitely right. So listen, we're going to wrap it up. We'll be back tomorrow for a Wolves watch along. Probably do a preview before it, or we'll build up to it, match build up, something. We'll figure it out. We'll be back tomorrow for the Wolves, back to normal football talk, which is what we want to do. It's what we enjoy the most. And listen, enjoy the rest of your days and stay calm. Everything's going to be all right, because every little thing is going to be all right. In a bit.
Your heart, 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 heart.